Understanding China's proposed centenary leap to the Mao era. Mao Zedong, the first generation communist leader, secured the mandate as the founder of the Red Army and the People's Republic of China (PRC). Deng Xiaoping, who succeeded Mao, was a distinguished military commander and a core member of the CPC. As per Chinese tradition, dynastic bloods were never the criterion to determine the chain of succession. It was always the capable ministers or the victorious generals who were bestowed the mandate of heaven, an ancient Chinese belief. The Communist Party of China has implicitly followed the norm. Mao Zedong, first generation communist leader, secured the mandate as the founder of the Red Army and the People's Republic China. Deng Xiaoping, who succeeded Mao, was a distinguished military commander and a core member of the CPC. The next three generation leaders, Yang Zemin, Hu Jintao, and Xi Jinping, went through a systematic selection process to earn their spurs. Given the opaque system followed by the CPC, those who study or deal with China are often bewildered by the mixed signal and actions of the communist leadership and find it extremely difficult to make clear interpretations. Contrary to some initial Western expectations, China's economic prosperity has not led to any political reform, and Beijing's growing aggressive behavior under Xi in the quest of a centenary leap into the Mao era belies China's claim of a peaceful rise. Xi, the paramount leader. Xi's ascent to the top makes of a unique case. The son of a communist revolution hero Xi Jinping Jr. Xi, as a red princeling, had a privileged childhood, but when his father was plagued in 1966, Xi's schooling was disrupted. 2 years later, when Mao's Cultural Revolution, the 15-year-old Xi was among the millions of young people from cities who were sent to the countryside as farm hands to learn from peasants. Xi joined the CPC in 1974 at the age of 21 and moved up the party hierarchy smoothly, championed by the senior Xi, who had been rehabilitated by then. He burst on the political scene as the graft-fighting governor of Fujian in 1999 and assumed the mantle of the fifth-generation leadership in 2012. Given his mild demeanor, it was assumed that Xi would abide by the party's constitutional rule. However, he played his hand differently and went on to emerge as the most powerful leader after Mao himself. Singapore statesman Lee Kuan Yi had described Xi as a person with a soul of iron, even as he compared him with the likes of Nelson Mandela. Control over party and military. Xi swiftly consolidated his position by strengthening his hold on the levers of power, the CPC and the People's Liberation Army. He launched an unbridled campaign to clean the system of corruption, resulting in the punishment of more than 1 million cadre, including high-ranking civil and military officials. The anti-corruption drive also proved handy to purge prominent political rivals like Bo Xilai. Simultaneously, Xi initiated deep-rooted military reforms so as to make the PLA a modern fighting force at par with the US military by 2027. The rationale was twofold: to prepare the military for China's expanding global role and to establish firm control of the party over the PLA in consonance with Mao's dictum, "Party controls the gun." At the 19th Party Congress held in 2017, Xi further strengthened his grip over the party and a year later discarded the two-term limit to the presidency to become the lifelong incumbent. Xi Jinping's thoughts for new era socialism with China's characteristics were enshrined in the Communist Party constitution, an honor that has so far been reserved only for Mao and Deng, and he was given the status of Lingsu. Xi's China dream envisions a powerful and prosperous China and acquiring the status of a great modern socialist country by the middle of the century. With the reorganization of the Central Military Commission, the highest defense body, Xi appointed himself the comrade of chief of the PLA. No more hide and bide. Abandoning Deng's policy of hide and bide, Xi advocated that China should play a greater role in international affairs instead of security alliances and partnership format adopted by the United States. Xi has chosen the geo-economic route. His Belt and Road Initiative, a trillion-dollar venture, seeks to enlarge China's influence across the globe through mega connectivity projects, employing checkbook diplomacy and debt traps. Xi's alternative model to Western democracy is characterized by authoritarian political structure, state-driven capitalism. Under Xi has managed to control the coronavirus and to claim a victory that has eluded almost every other country. The Chinese economy has registered a 6.8% growth in the first quarter of the year 2021. To stand out as a strong world leader, Xi has upped his ante in disputed areas including the South and East China Seas and Eastern Ladakh region of India. Internally too, Xi has tightened the grip over Hong Kong, Tibet, Xinjiang to ensure a conducive periphery. Centenary leap into Mao era greatness. In March this year, during the two sessions, the National People's Congress rubber stamp parliamentary body Chinese People's Consultative Conference approved 14th five-year plan and laid out Xi's vision 2035. The salient themes of the vision, including prioritizing quality growth, achieving common prosperity, elevating China's leadership role in global governance, and managing the rivalry with the US. A major overhaul is envisaged in the Chinese economy as it adopts the dual circulation system of boosting domestic consumption and reducing dependence on export markets. China marked the CPC centenary on July 1 with the ceremonial pomp and splendor. Xi attired a grey Mao suit, graced the occasion from the same ramparts as Mao had done while announcing the establishment of the PRC on October 1, 1949. During an hour-long speech projecting himself as a formidable leader, Xi declared that the Chinese people would never allow any foreign force to bully, oppress, or subjugate the nation. He attributed party's capability, the strength of socialism with Chinese characteristics to Marxism. In the footsteps of Mao, these radical measures are aimed to steer China back to the Mao era, as he firmly believes that return to original Maoism is the only way to secure China's future. Since assuming office, Xi has constantly referred to Mao as the 1930s his three rules of discipline, 8 points of attention for PLA soldiers, and the 8 points rules for party officials. Thank you.